guys, it's Mary. This is a big pile of books. I haven't filmed a book haul in a very long time now, and I have been accumulating books I think since my birthday in November last year. So I have some books for my birthday, some books that I received for Christmas, and then books that I bought myself, of course, throughout the months. I also recently, I've been to Scotland this week, and I bought more books there, but I thought I'd do a separate book haul video because I was already thinking I had many to talk about, but I didn't think there were that many. So I have them here in no particular order, so I will try and remember maybe the ones that I got for my birthday, although it's not very important, is it? But anyway, okay. As I said in my last book haul, I believe, I will not like talk extensively about the books, just because I don't like reading blurbs or like pretending that I know everything about the plot when I don't. And also most times I like to go blind into the books without knowing anything about like plot or yes, or maybe I heard something and then I sort of forget, and I want to keep it that way so that when I read it, it's sort of fresh and a surprise. Yes, so let's get going. So the first one is a non-fiction book actually, and it is The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind and Body in the Healing of Trauma by Bessel Kolk. I am very much into this sort of books and, you know, about sort of self healing and dealing with trauma and how this affects your body. And actually this concept is extensively explored in Alice Miller's books that I've read, that I've been reading, and I feel like I'm very curious to know if this author has sort of borrowed anything from her concepts, and if it adds to those concepts, as I said, because I think it's very interesting and very true how, you know, how mind affects the body and the health as well, physical health. So I think this one is going to be about that. Then this one I got for Christmas, I want to say. Christmas or birthday. I think it was my birthday because they're sort of close together. My birthday is in November, and then, you know, Christmas is a month afterwards. This is another non-fiction book called Ace by Chen, What Asexuality Reveals About Desire, Society and the Meaning of Sex. I've heard this book talked about in a very positive fashion, especially by Ariel at She Wants the Diction, and I love how she talks about books. So I definitely had my eyes on this one, and my sister was kind enough to gift it to me without me prompting her, so it's because she knows me very well. It talks exactly about what the title suggests. Very interesting. Then I've got an Italian book, which is something that doesn't happen very often. I don't read a lot of Italian books, and I don't buy a lot of Italian books. And it's a pity because I am Italian. And this one I bought in this new bookshop that opened in my hometown where I used to live with my parents. And I just wanted to support this local bookshop because we don't have bookshops in that town. I mean, in this town either, there is no bookshop. But this, I mean, I live in a very small country town, and I don't know, a bookshop is not expected here. But in the other sort of bigger town, I think, yes, it's, I mean, I would love for a bookshop to be here as well, but it was a travesty that there wasn't any local bookshop in my hometown. Anyway, I got the Days of Abandonment, I think this one is called, by Elena Ferrante. I love Elena Ferrante. Actually, I don't know if I can say that because I did love her Neapolitan novels. I have read all of them, and it was one of my favorite reads of, I think, 2020. I'm pretty sure I read those books during the pandemic. And I fell in love with her writing style and then I decided to read the backlist. And I read the first novel, her debut novel, which I didn't like. And it was called, how was it called? I think I have it right here. Troubling Love, probably. And that one I didn't really like. This is the second book that she wrote. My hopes are up because, as I said, I really love her writing style, and I just want to find the feeling of the Neapolitan novels again. I think this one is one of my recent purchases, and it's Popisho by Leone Ross. And I think this is the one that's called This One Sky Day in the UK, probably. But I really love this cover and this title way more than the other edition, so I got this. I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter because I don't have English books around me, so it's not like I had to find this one in a different way. So yeah, I got this one. And this is about, I think this has magical realism involved, which is not something that I'm a fan of usually, but as I said previously, if it's done well, then it's great. So I'm really hoping this one does the trick, because I heard, oh shoot, I'm gonna put her channel somewhere in the cards, because right now I'm blanking on even the channel name. Oh geez, I'm so sorry. Anyway, I heard her talk about this and she really got me interested in it. And this is inspired by Leone Ross's hometown in Jamaica, and yeah, there's magic, there's people probably gossiping. I don't know. I don't want to say too much because I don't remember that much, to be honest, but I just think it sounded amazing. Then I have Tin Men by Sarah Winman, which my sister brought me. This one is her book. She didn't like this book at all, and she wanted to get rid of it. And I'm like, well, this is on my TBR. It has been on my TBR for ages, and it's so short. I will just give it a go. Even though when my sister tells me that she didn't really like a book, it sort of really, I don't know, it ruins it for me a little bit. So yeah, but I hope I end up enjoying this one, because I've heard nothing but great things on BookTube. Actually, it involves sort of a love triangle with a gay man and then another man who's married to a woman. I think this is what I remembered. It's supposed to be super sad, and I love sad books, so I hope I like this one. Then I've got the complete fiction of Nella Larsen that contains Passing, Quicksand, and the stories. That's what it says here. I've read Passing this, the past year, I think. Anyway, I really enjoyed Passing, but I didn't own it because I've read it on Kindle. I don't remember, but yes, or was it an audio? I think it was a Kindle. But anyway, I wanted the physical book, and I thought I would get the complete fiction because it's not that much, and I just wanted to read more by her because I really loved her writing style and just her storytelling. So I've got this one. Then I've got another book in Italian. This one is translated from the French by Maylis de Kerangal. I don't know how to pronounce her name. And I think it has two titles in English, but I do remember one. Oh no, I remember both. I think one is The Heart and the other one is Mend the Living, probably, because that's what it says. I mean, Mend the Living would be the literal translation, I guess, of the book as well. I do know a little bit of French. So yeah, exactly. Mend the Living would be the exact translation, but then they have, I don't remember if in the UK or US, they translated it as The Heart. And it's about someone that gives, somebody dies and they donate their heart to someone else. I guess this is the gist of it. And it's supposed to be heartbreaking, as like the premise would suggest, but also very good. So as I said previously, I do find that when the book is translated from a language such as French or Spanish, I prefer to get the book in Italian because I think the language is more similar, and so maybe less is lost in translation, hopefully, and also because that's another opportunity for me to read Italian, which I rarely do, as I said. Okay, so another 2 books translated from the French that I got in Italian, that are 2 chunky classics. I've been on a roll with chunky classics, to be honest. I have also bought, and that should be in this book haul, to be honest, but I didn't put it in here just because I've read it last month, so I'm just going to talk about it anyway. And it was George Eliot's Middlemarch, and that one is a chunkster as well. But yeah, back to our book haul. We have The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. You know, a chunkster, and it's just what it is. I feel like I want to read chunky classics. I have this urge. I don't know if it's like we were like laughing about this because I'm pregnant, and maybe this is one of my pregnancy cravings book-wise, that I want like chunky classics. But yes, I can't wait to get to these 2. And they're both by Alexandre Dumas, actually. And I also have The Count of Montecristo, the very famous Count of Montecristo, and I really love this edition. Like this is not pretty. I hate, I don't like red, to be honest. I think it's very aggressive. But this one looks so good, and it's even bigger. It's very big, but I just feel like this one is going to be amazing. I don't know anything about this. I think the only thing I know is that this is about revenge. That's the only thing I know. But yeah, it sounds amazing. Then I've got the next in my Daphne du Maurier works, because I'm reading them in chronological order. The last one I read was The Parasites, and now we have Marianne by Daphne du Maurier. So the one that I will pick up next in the list would be this one, and I don't know anything about it because I'm just picking them up and reading them, whatever the plot. But it intrigues me because that's my name, Marianne. I mean, my name is Marianna, and yeah, it's a bit different, but this would be the English translation, I guess, Marianne. So yeah, intriguing. Then a book about education and parenting. Why not? I think this is the latest that I added to my collection, and it is The Whole Brain Child by Daniel Siegel and Dr. Tina Payne Bryson. And actually I've read other books by, I think both of them, for sure by Siegel, but I think she was in as well. And I really love their approach towards parenting and the children's brain. And this is supposed to be super interesting about how the brain develops and how to sort of, nurture your child's developing mind. So let's see. It sounds very interesting. Then books I've got for my birthday by my friend. She got me 2 books from my list. She chose them herself, picking from my never-ending list of books, and one is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson. I never read her last name. Hodgson Burnett. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I previously read this book when I was young, and I remember really enjoying it. But I don't remember anything about it, so I just thought I picked it up again. I'm not a massive middle grade reader, but there are some middle grade gems that I really care about and that I treasure, and I feel like this one could be one of them. I don't know if it's just my memory of it, but I really hope I end up enjoying this one again. And another one, which I don't know if it's like considered YA, but it is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. This is another sort of modern classic, and I've heard amazing things about this, and I think it was also like talked about in connection with I Captured the Castle for the feeling and the vibe of the story, and I really love I Captured the Castle. I should reread it actually, but I remember absolutely falling in love with it. So yes, this one sounds promising as well, and I've heard nothing but great things. Then I picked myself up A Room Called Earth by Madeleine Ryan, and this is supposed to be set in one single evening. She goes to a party and she feels very sort of out of it because she's neurodivergent. So I thought this could be relatable since I am not neurodivergent. And well, yes, the book looks very, very pretty as well, which, you know, it helps. This is the inside cover, and I've heard Mercedes talk about this, and anytime she raves about a book, I just feel like I want to read it. She's so good with words, and I love her taste, so I really hope I love this one too. And the last one, I hope I wasn't too long. The last one is another, well, this last one was gifted to me by my sister as well for Christmas. I'm pretty sure this is Christmas, and the other one was the birthday. But anyway, and this is Torrey Viter's Detransition Baby. And yes, I've heard nothing but great things. I've heard this book talked about a lot, and this is a novel, and it just sounds very good and very interesting. So needless to say, I want to get to all of these books, but who knows what's gonna happen. I don't feel pressure in having unread books on my shelves, to be honest. I actually feel better when I have books from my list out of the list and in my house, so that I know that I can get to them whenever I want to. So yeah, I don't feel bad about having unread books, but I still feel like, yeah, I'm on a roll with reading and everything, so I want to read more than possibly I'm doing right now, especially before baby arrives. I want to make the most of it. I hope you enjoyed, and yes, I will film my May wrap up soon, and also another book haul, and probably a couple of, I don't want to say too many videos because then I end up doing nothing. But yes, so I'll see you in my next video, and please talk to me if you read any of the books, if you want to talk about them. I'm here, and I'm always glad to answer your comments. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!